So here's the thing, I couldn't decide what I was going to do with this engine. Spoke to Anthem Horsepower Junkie. He is a legend because he's the most honest person I know. He's like, look, just give it a once over, it'll be fine. Like, you know, if he was a greedy engine builder, he'd be like, nah, send it to me, we'll do all this work and all that sort of stuff. But I trust his judgment. As long as the bearings look all right and the bores look okay, it's a Barra. You know, the amount of Barras that get their absolute ass flogged out of them weekly, and to 10 levels above what I am going to be doing with this, I'm just going to send it, which is what all the guys have been saying anyways. So anyway, the plan is, and just going to keep it local for now. Bottom end, hopefully won't have to take it anywhere. Might not even do Welsh plugs or anything like that. I think they'll all be fine, but if I have to, then I know Mez from Barra the World's got some in stock. Head's going to come off, get surfaced and vacuum checked for the valves. If they all seal up fine, then it'll just get cleaned, like it'll get a sonic bath and cleaned and reassembled. And whilst that's happening, it'll have new valve sim seals and the crow valve springs, and these birds outside can shut up. It'll get reassembled and cleaned. I'll get the rock cover repainted because it's a bit kind of crappy looking. Just everything will get cleaned up. I'll clean the block, give it a coat of paint, and it should be fine. I mean, you know, like Jay's from Tough Mounts, his Mustang made, I think, near on 900 horsepower with standard rods in it and everything like that. My expectation versus reality is that this thing should be fine. Even the ZF, I'm just going to throw it in the car and hope for the best. If it itself, then it'll go to MVs to get rebuilt. Same with the diff, that's going straight in. I just want to get this car on the road and drive it, to be honest. So the big plan is that, because I've got the HoonTV for the FG, is I'll get the thing on the road, I can convert it to petrol. That way I'm not going to be running around trying to find friggin' LPG everywhere. And I can also start to learn the HoonTV. Not because I want to tune people's cars, but just so I can actually learn the HoonTV and mess around a little bit with the FG, so that when it comes time for me to know a bit more about what I'm doing with the drag car and work with Brett, I'm not going to look like a complete idiot. So, yeah. So I guess I need to get working on this.
So good. You've done a really good thing by jumping on national.
Firstly, I'm going to start by saying that this isn't a video where I'm negative, because I promised myself, and I will remain to never be negative. Sometimes you have ups and downs, but yeah, there's always a silver lining. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's get into why I'm doing this video. So I'm just going to stand back here. So clearly this is a Barra block. This is the FG turbo engine I bought for my Trayback ute, and I believe I've called it Trevor the Trayback, but regardless of the fact, it is pretty much stripped now, and there's a lot of the parts on the bench. The head's in just getting serviced at the moment. It's a basic service with the new valve springs in it. But the original plan was just to buy it, do the basics, valve springs that, and then throw it in. And me being OCD, I decided not to, because I wanted to check it out, because I noticed there was a bit of brassy sort of looking stuff in the sump. So I just decided I was going to take it to Melbourne, and then changed my mind again. I'm like, you know what, these things are Barras, they go forever. And much like a lot of other people, I've owned a few Barras now, in and out of cars. So yeah, you just find that they may be hit and miss. A lot of people get lucky. When I bought two Barra engines, two FG engines, non-turbo, to do the rebuild and build the new engine for the drag car, I bought two donor engines. As you may have seen in the past, we sonic tested two blocks. One was really good, one was okay. So they were really nice engines. All the bearings look good, the bores look good, everything was good. They just had miles on them, and they've been looked after, and probably just in like a mum and dad type situation. Which leads to this engine here. So I'll flip the camera back around and I'll start to show you some stuff. Full disclosure before I go into this as well, I bought this through a legitimate wrecker. They are friends of mine, and it was a used engine. So no hate to them. They did look after me on the price as well, because they're mates. So I'm not doing this as a rant or anything like that. This is just purely what happens when you buy a used engine. So getting into it, and also this engine came out of a crashed car. Basically, with any place like that, if they sell an engine as a used engine, it is put a battery in the car, it started and ran, we switched it off and it ran. So a few things when I pulled this apart originally that worried me a little bit were that, and I've cleaned this out and it still needs cleaning, but that was absolutely chock-a-block full of junk. There's still even little bits of brass fleck in there, but it had bits of rubber seal, you name it. It's pretty common in these because they're designed to catch all the crap in there, which, you know, that's a bit sarcasm, but obviously you want your oil pickup to be nice and clear so it's going to pick up oil and have good flow without restriction. Looking at other parts of this, the crank from a visual inspection doesn't look too bad, but it is worn a bit. But it's when we get to stuff like when I pulled off the very middle bearing cap, that is totally toast. Like, that is so worn, it's not even crazy. It's gotten that hot that the bearing's actually lost its spring. It's not even sitting in there anymore. Like, it's actually got a gap. But like normally with a bearing, it'll have spring on it and it'll actually push in. That won't even reach there. So yeah, it's not great. And a few of them are like that, not so much on the mains, but in the rod bearings. And same over in the block when you look over here, like the center bearing, which I popped out, you can even see that that brass is like peeling off. So I'm not panicking in any stretch. It's just purely, I think it's kind of lucky in a way that I pulled it apart, because I don't think this engine would have lasted very long at all if I'd thrown it in the car, especially if we put it on the dyno and started to lean on it. Like, the rest of the bearings aren't completely stuffed, but they're excessively worn. You know, it's not great and not what we want to do. This probably isn't going to come out now, but I don't think that the thrust washer here is that bad, so maybe there was no real end float or anything like that, but definitely going to mean that the crank is going to have to get machined, new bearings, just everything's going to get cleaned. I think I might get some of this stuff vapor blasted. One of the VCT actuators was broken. It'd fallen apart, so I'm getting 2 new ones of them. And also, when we look over here at the rods and pistons, I'm actually quite stoked because the pistons don't really have that much wear on them, and doesn't appear to be any broken rings. There doesn't seem to be excessive amounts of detonation marks or anything like that on there. So that's actually a really good thing. More than likely the engine's going to have to get bored and honed anyway, but looking across all of them, there's sort of small marks on there, but nothing that you'd be panicking about, which I'm pretty stoked with. So, and they all look pretty even as well as far as colours and you know, the carbon deposits on them. That's really good. But when you look at the bearings, now I'm not going to pop that out because it's a pain in the butt, but pretty much all the rod bearings are stuffed. So yeah, they are really hammered. So if anything, I think the car's just been thrashed. So maybe it wasn't maintained very well, didn't have great oil in it, I don't know. I mean, this is all discussions I've got to have with Anth anyway, because he's the guru. So I'll be going down that path. I was thinking about it anyway. I was just trying to avoid excessive costs on that car so that I could get the thing together as quick as possible, throw the Howtech in it and get into it. Cam-wise, I don't think there's a lot of bad wear on there. There's a bit of discoloration on the lobes, but none of them seem to be pitted or marked too badly. So I may be able to either just run them as is, or I might take them in and get them polished up. But I'm not too stressed about that. So other than that, it's just sort of like just clean stuff. I'm going to look into getting this and some other parts vapor blasted, like I was saying. And then this bottom end's probably just going to go straight to Melbourne, and we'll tank it, pull all the Welsh plugs out, machine it properly, machine the crank, check it all, and then more than likely these will just go into a box and be shelved for a bit, and it'll have some rods and pistons go through it, and just some, you know, something economical. But either way, it's going to have to get done, and I've got no real plans on getting rid of that car in a hurry. I actually really like that FG, and I've kind of got a long-term plan for it, which I won't give away yet because it's just an idea for the meantime, so I don't want to sort of like get ahead of myself. But I'm one of those people that's sort of like, you know, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it properly and avoid, you know, hassles and things like that. So I'm the sort of person that's gonna do the radiator and put a new fresh water pump on it, or fresh hoses, belt, you know, all that sort of thing, rather than just sort of sending it. I know some people are working within budgets, but the best thing about it being a Falcon is that it's not like the Porsche I had where the fuel pump was $3,700. It's like, it's a Falcon, so like water pumps and that are like $100, and it's economically sensible to future-proof things. So the downside to all this is that being a mechanic and knowing what I believe has been a lack of servicing and mechanical sympathy means that the transmission, which looks all right on the outside, could be fine, could be totally fine. It's a ZF6, it's a turbo ZF6, but I'm sort of also going, if the engine looks like this, then what's the trans like? And then it's like, if the engine looks like this and the trans isn't any good, what's the diff like? Because I've got the turbo diff there. So it's not a where does it stop, it's a what am I going to do? So I think I'm just literally going to go through everything. There's not going to be like a drag car build or anything like that. It's just literally going to be smart rebuilding of the running gear. I have all the wiring loom, all the bits and pieces to get this thing together. And I want it to be a nice car. The suspension will get the basic go over, the brakes will get done, and it'll be like a nice fresh Falcon again. So, got a bit of work to do because obviously I've got a drag car to finish. But I'll make it work. Yeah, I'll make it work. So anyway, this is my short and sharp suck it and see video, I guess. You know, it's like sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but there's always a silver lining, and if you plan and go about things the right way and you work with the right people, then yeah, it'll all work out all right. So let's get on with it. The oil pump housing itself, as anyone who's pulled one of these apart was a real bastard. I had to drill out one of them, which I haven't even got out yet, but I don't need to because this is getting thrown in the bin. Basically, anyone who's done it, you need an impact driver and you need a lot of patience and to not smash your hand, but that there has some epic amounts of scoring in it, and so that is horrible. There's some scoring through here, but not as bad, but through here it's pretty nasty, so yeah, she's gross. So, but when we step over here, this is where it gets even worse. It's very hard to see here, but if you can see the pitting in that, it's like it's had gravel through it. It's so bad. And I showed this to Ant from Horsepower Junkie, and he's like, that is the worst one I've ever seen, ever. It's like, it's just literally just, don't know, it's just like somebody's put it into a tumbler full of like driveway gravel. It's just, yeah, it's nasty. Like the sides are okay, but the actual edges here, and it's the same on the inside. Yeah, it's just like scored and scratched, and yeah, it's properly gross. So I'm not sure if these pictures are going to be great or not, but yeah. And even when you put it together, it's like it just doesn't want to move that well. Like, you know, normally these should, yeah, look like a line now, but I'm actually having to force that to move. So it's like, yeah, like they're stuck now. Yeah, so imagine that trying to work. Yeah, that is properly rubbish. So anyway,